Happy new week. This is Jacqueline with the Weekly Freak Podcast. Well, we're always talking about some good, juicy stuff that you can basically then practice during the week for you to live a better and nicer life. And this week, I want to talk to you about don't be afraid of your feelings. You know, a lot of times we're a little afraid of our feelings. We're afraid of, the strength of our feelings. We're afraid of the power of our feelings. We're also really afraid, especially of the feelings that don't feel so good, right? And my suggestion to you is to embrace all your feelings. Because once you embrace it, there's nothing for you to be afraid of anymore because it's part of you, right? So let's say you have a strong frustration feeling or a strong anxiety feelings or something like that, something that does not feel so good for you. Well, a lot of times we then want it to go away, right? We want it to go away. It doesn't feel good. And that wanting it to go away means you're not taking it as part of you. You're not embracing it. And it means also that you create pressure, right? It has to go away. There's something wrong. And all that not very good stuff that then you put onto the feeling that already doesn't feel so well. So a feeling that you feel is yours to feel. It's part of you. And to not embrace it means that you make it really even worse, and then comes it shouldn't be that way and it doesn't feel good and I'm afraid to feel it fully, whatnot. I say dive into your feelings, really dive into it, close your eyes and feel what's there for you to feel. Embrace it as a part of you, no matter if it doesn't feel good. Embrace it as a part of you. And then from there, because you're shifting in a really neutral place, because it's part of you. It's like your little, pinky toe. You don't want it to go away. You need it. It's part of you. Embrace your pinky toe. Your feelings is all your feelings are the same. Embrace all your feelings. If you feel it, it's yours to feel. It's part of you. And when you embrace it and then shift into a neutral space where you can allow that feeling, close your eyes and go deeper into it. Say, what are you for me? Why are you even there? Where are you coming from? Why are you so strong? What is there for me to heal, to let go of, or to understand about that feeling? And it's like you're hanging out with a good old friend, right? You're hanging out with a good old friend and you're chatting about what it's all about. And when you come from a conversational, easy come, easy go kind of place and you talk with your feelings, I know it's weird talking with your feelings, but it works. I'm telling you, it works. Suddenly, there is no more pressure. There's no more weirdness. And the feeling is not going to be that strong anymore because you're actually taking the time to hang out with your feeling and to get to know your feeling. And what happens then, you become comfortable with your feeling, with yourself, with that part of you that you wanted to go away or that, you were afraid of. You're actually suddenly comfortable and you're like, that is part of me. And suddenly you start embracing and you start loving it and you start really accepting it as part of you. And yes, loving it is the hardest part. That's the last part. But it's possible. It's possible to love even that part in you and the feeling section that actually doesn't feel so well. And what happens is you familiarize yourself with who you really are as a whole being, meaning that you actually give yourself a chance as a whole being. Because until you completely 100% as a whole being accept yourself, it's really hard to be happy. It's really hard to love yourself, because if there's a little part in you that you don't love, well, then it's really hard to love yourself fully and completely. It's also really hard to live a fully vividly life as you, with the truth that who you really are, when you don't accept yourself 100%. And that includes your feelings, even the ones that scare you. There's nothing scary about those feelings. The only scary part is because you don't know and you're not hanging out with your feelings, and you're not embracing it all, right? Once you get to know your feelings, you get to know yourself better, and you're not scared anymore because it's not foreign anymore. It's you. You're hanging out with you and who you really are. And that goes in everything in life. You know, you start something new, it's a little scary, you did a couple times, and you get to know the situation, the person, whatever it is, and you go a little deeper into it, and suddenly it's comfortable. And that's what you want to be with your feelings. You want to be comfortable with your feelings. You want to be comfortable with who you really are. And your feelings, like it or not, they are part of you. So everything you always feel, it's yours. It's there for you to feel. It's already in you. So nobody ever makes you feel anything. That's not possible. Nobody makes you feel angry. That anger sits already inside of you. They're just initiating. They're like this amazing stepping stone, you know, for you to actually feel your whole you, and then to hang out with yourself. And some of the feelings, you know, they gotta come up in order to go out. Some of them, they come up and then you hang out with them. You're like, wait a minute, that's not even mine. Or I'm just kind of like in somebody else's garden, kind of weeding in their life, you know. Well, I'm just gonna let that go. And that needs to be able to happen, but it can only happen if you embrace it, if you hang out with it, if you kind of really get really deeply comfortable with who you really are, including your feelings. So don't be afraid of your feelings, and if you have any questions or any issues with that, you can reach me at FreakyHealer.com. Shoot me an email. I'm gonna help you with that, because I tell you what, doors will open, life will become vivid, and you will just be so in love with yourself when you actually accept the whole of you, including your feelings, and the comfortableness that comes out of this. Oh my, I mean, you're gonna be so comfy with yourself, and you're gonna go like, wow, how could I ever live any different moving forward? I'm just in love with myself, I'm comfortable with myself, and life is really good. So I tell you what, take it to heart. Don't be scared or afraid of your feelings. Feel them fully. And I'll talk to you next week. Shoot me an email if you have any questions. This is Jacqueline from FreakyHealer.com.